So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Welcome to my iPhone 12 versus iPhone 11 Pro Max. Which is the better buy? Now, the reason I'm making this video is because the 11 Pro Max can now be found for around the same price as an iPhone 12. So the question is, which one is the better deal for around the same money? Okay, so let's begin with the body. Which one has the better body for this money? Now, first of all, I'm gonna say the iPhone 12 is the more practical choice just because it's lighter. It's just an easier phone to live with just because it's smaller than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now, the 11 Pro Max to me feels a little bit more premium with this frosted back here, and it just has more of a heft, giving it a more premium kind of feel. But the iPhone 12 is right there with it, with its squared edges, giving it also a nice unique feel. But in terms of the body, I think it comes down to, do you want the bigger phone or do you want the smaller phone here? Do you want squared or do you want rounded edges? For me, I would say that the iPhone 12 does win out, mostly due to its lightweight and having, the squared edges, giving it the more modern feel. Now that it does have this, it's more like the iPad Pro series, and this is probably where Apple's going to stick for the next couple of years or so. But that's not to take away from the 11 Pro Max. This is a very premium build as well. Frosted back material, stainless steel on the edges, so a much harder material on the edges, giving it a more premium feel there. And this unique midnight green, Apple only kept this around for one gen, so it's a very unique color as well. So not saying that this one is not nearly as premium. It's actually maybe more premium in certain areas, but I just think more practically speaking, more people are just gonna probably gravitate towards a smaller, lighter phone like the iPhone 12, even though the edges are a little bit sharper, a little bit less comfortable in the corner of the palms. And in terms of just looks, which one does have the better look? And they're both easily recognizable as iPhones. I just think the squared edges, people are just gonna recognize that's the latest one. Other than that, they're pretty similar. You can see the notch definitely more noticeable every time you get smaller, like on the smaller iPhone 12, because there's just more screen space. But it looks to me like the iPhone 12 might have thinner bezels than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Not majorly noticeable, but definitely much thinner than the prior iPhone 11 and 10R. Yeah, so in terms of looks, it really just comes down to, do you prefer them curvy edges or do you prefer the more flat square look of the iPhone 12? Let us know down below in the comments which one you prefer. Okay guys, in terms of the display, it's a toss up here because, you do get a bigger display here with the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Both of them can peak out at 1200 nits, and they're both HDR10 displays. They're both OLED displays, so they both have good contrast, but Apple does tune it to be a lot more natural, so you're not going to expect anything super colorful here. It's just going to be a little bit deeper blacks and a little bit better contrast than Apple's older LCDs, but don't expect nothing super saturated like what you'll find on a Samsung phone, for example. Now, in terms of overall sharpness, the iPhone 12 is slightly sharper, like 460 ppi. This one does have a 458 on the 11 Pro Max, but here is one area where the 11 Pro Max is my recommendation over the 12. Because they have basically the same display, the iPhone 11 Pro Max does one thing better, and that's give you 200 nits more of usable brightness, up to 800 nits. And why is that important? Because both of these can peak out at 1200 when the sunlight hits them when you're outdoors. That's fine and dandy. But when you need that extra brightness, when you don't have the auto brightness kicking in, giving you that massively high peak brightness, or when you're watching a HDR movie and it peaks out there, you can actually tweak this up to 200 nits bright more. That's a ton of more brightness for the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and it's very noticeable. So if you want the best display between these two, the iPhone 11 Pro Max slightly edges the iPhone 12. Now, both of these do run iOS 14. Both of them will be available to update to 14.5 and 15 down the line. So definitely the same software experience. You can't really say picking one or the other is going to give you any different of an experience, and it's so much similar. There's not even split screen mode for the bigger iPhone 11 Pro Max. It's identical the way you use these phones. There is no difference whatsoever. So the only reason I would pick the 12 over the 11 Pro Max is it might get one more year of updates, just because this has an A13 Bionic and this has an A14. So Apple might push out support on this one first before it leaves the iPhone 12 behind. Also, I think the iPhone 12 is selling better than the iPhone 11 Pro Max did. So there's going to be more users on there. This one's going to be supported just a little bit longer. So if you just want longer support, get the 12. But if you want a bigger phone with the same experience, get the 11 Pro Max. It's going to offer that up to you. And more space, well, not necessarily more space, but just a bigger widget experience as well when you do place widgets on the home screen. And which has the better biometrics? Well, iPhone 11 Pro Max, take a look. Bang, you're in. What about the iPhone 12? Take a look. Bang, you are in. So either way you go here, you're getting that classic Face ID. It's now classic because it's been out since 2017, so it's getting up there in age, but definitely still works the way you would expect. Of course, when you're out and about, passcodes have become the mainstream way of unlocking the iPhone with the masks on. But boy, let me tell you, either way you go here with biometrics, it's going to be the same experience. Pretty awesome on both of them, so I wouldn't pick either over one or the other just because of Face ID. So which has the better overall performance? And that's going to be the iPhone 12. They both have 4 gigs of RAM, but the iPhone 12 gives you that Apple A14. However, you know it's coming. You don't feel it in the real world. I mean, yeah, you can flex. Yeah, I got the better benchmark score. My video edits, you know, it renders about 10 seconds faster or 5 seconds faster than your A13 over there, but who really cares? Like, seriously, these are both very quick. You can pop into Instagram quick on both of them. You could pop into YouTube quick. You know that's what you're doing day to day. You're just using these basic apps. Don't play with me. You know you're just opening these basic apps every day, and nobody in their right mind is going to notice any difference in speed between either of these for the foreseeable future. So I would say I wouldn't pick here either. This is not the area I would pick on because the A13 has no slowdown right now. No sweat whatsoever. It's keeping up with the A14. I mean, Apple could have put an A13 in the iPhone 12 and people still would have bought it. If they did an A13X or something, they didn't even call it the A14. So not saying it's bad. It's amazing you have 5 nanometers versus 7 nanometers in here. We got to keep it moving. But at the same time, don't buy this one thinking you're going to get so much better speed than this one. You're really not. Buy more based on screen size, design, the colors, things like that. All right. So one thing I don't like about both these phones is they both start at a wimpy little 64 gigs. Fortunately, I have the 256 gigs here for the 11 Pro Max. This one I have the 64. Take a look at my storage, man. This phone ain't even, we're like, what are we, like halfway through the year? And I'm already halfway through the storage. So, and I know some people are going to say, I don't know what this guy is talking about. I use a 16 gigabyte iPhone. I've used a 32. I'm not running out of storage today. Are you running out of storage? Because I'm not. No, listen here. Report back to me after 4 years of using this phone with, 4K video and all that, and then come in the comments and say, I still haven't run out of storage. I don't think it's going to happen if you actually use your phone like someone actually uses their phone. So yeah. Basically, I don't like that both these start with 64, but the nice thing is that you can get this one with up to 256 gigs, this one up to 512. So if you're looking for the max out storage, get the iPhone 11 Pro Max in the 512 and keep it moving, call it a day. So which one has the better battery life? This one's easy. iPhone 11 Pro Max, far superior in day-to-day battery life than the iPhone 12. I'm talking like an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45, almost 2 hours better of screen time. So cameras, boy oh boy, I think this is the most confusing section of phones these days, but also pretty simple if you know what you're looking for. First of all, don't be fooled by the triple cameras on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Both of these do use very similar sensors, even though you would think you're getting so much more on the 11 Pro Max. You're really not getting so much more that you might think. The main sensor on this iPhone 12 is actually darn good. I think it actually beats out the 11 Pro Max slightly with overall detail and the processing, and using the A14, it just gives a slightly sharper result. Very slight. You would have to zoom in, get really close to notice it, but it's a little bit brighter and slightly sharper. The iPhone 12 also has a very good wide angle camera, and where it really shines is that you can do some HDR video in here, not in the 4K 60, but you can do it in HD 30. Over here, you can do it in 4K 30. So you got that really bright, juicy video for the iPhone 12. So the iPhone 12 to me is the better pick for video than the iPhone 11 Pro Max because you have more options you can do with it. However, where is the iPhone Pro Max, the 11 Pro Max, a better pick over the iPhone 12? And that's going to be the fact that you have an extra camera for zooming. The 2x optical, it gives you a nice reach if you do want more reach. You like to zoom in on photography, you want a little bit more versatility. It can go 10x on the zoom, which is far further than the iPhone 12, which can only do 5x. And then in video, it does have good 4K 60, but it's just a standard 4K 60. It's not HDR, but it's still pretty good. Then on the front, you can match up 4K 60. You can do that on the iPhone 12 as well. You can do this on the iPhone 12 as well. However, you don't have the extra telephoto here and the zooming is weaker. So that's how you decide. Which one do you want? Do you want to zoom sometimes? Then you're going to want the iPhone 11 Pro. Do you not care about zooming? You like a slightly brighter photo and you want the best video quality you can get on a phone? I think that you will prefer the iPhone 12 here if you want slightly better photo brightness and you want better video options. All right, which is better in the audio?
You know, the battery life on my iPhone has been so just fine. I get through the day. Well, you're not heavy using. You're not comparing this like I am to the iPhone 12.
Okay, so obviously the speaker is louder on the bottom than the top.
Oh, the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and you can't see it because you're only using this.
But surprisingly, this is powerful. For the size of this phone, that's quite a speaker in there. Let's hear the iPhone 11 Pro Max.
Oh, the battery life on my iPhone has been so just fine. I get through the day. Well, you're not heavy using. You're not comparing this like I.
And then one more time on the iPhone 12.
Device, but this phone definitely gets like double less.
Pretty much a wash. It might be slightly louder for the iPhone 11 Pro Max, maybe a little bit deeper, but it's very, very close. Not a major decision maker here between the audio. It's going to be strong on both of them. However, keep in mind, both don't have any headphone jack. You're going to need to get some Bluetooth headphones for these two. Now, when it comes to the phone calls, I have to give it to the iPhone 12. It's had better reception. It has 5G when it comes to mobile, but when phone calling, both of them, when they do have reception, they're both very good. When you do have, people on calls, nobody's saying you sound like crap, you're being dropped, I can't hear you. I haven't had those issues on either. However, I've had less bar strength, reception when I'm out and about with the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And sometimes my mobile performance wasn't even working properly if I was in the burbs and the suburbs and not in Chicago in the city area. However, with the iPhone 12, it seems to hold a better signal in more places, and with the 5G, it does pretty strong there as well. All right, guys, so which one is the better pick between these two? You can get this one now, depending on where you look. You can't get it from Apple, but when you look on a third party, you can get this around the same price, around the $800 mark as the iPhone 12. This might be a toss-up for you due to the price being the same. And I think the iPhone 12 is slightly edging the 11 Pro Max for being a little bit more practical to use in the weight and the size. It's just easier to live with day to day. And the cameras do step back by not having a telephoto versus the iPhone 11 Pro Max, but I would argue most people only need the main and wide angle camera anyway, and they both have very similar video quality. And not only that, you'll get an extra software update with this phone. However, if you're not a fan of the brighter colors, you can get this phone in multiple different colors. If you don't like these brighter colors, they do have black and white as well. And then for the iPhone 11 Pro Max, if you're into that like army green, midnight green look, you definitely got to pick up the 11 Pro Max. And why would you even pick the 11 Pro Max? Well, here's why you would pick this over the iPhone 12. You want a phone with a big display, a Max phone. You don't care about 5G too much right now. And you just always wanted a larger iPhone, but you're not willing to go 12, 1300. You're not going to wait on the 12 Pro Max. You want this thing, you can get it right now for a substantial discount over when it first came out. But personally, between these two, I would pick the iPhone 12. It's just a more practical choice between both of them. And that's it for me. Between iPhone 12 versus iPhone 11 Pro Max, which is better? Which one do you think is the better pick? Drop it down below in the comment section and let me know why. And if you did the trade, like if you had the 11 Pro Max, you went to the 12, share what the community experience. Or if you were like, nope, I picked the 11 Pro Max over the 12, let us know why you did that down below to help everyone out. Thumbs up if you found this video helpful, entertaining, informing. Nick here helping you to master your technology. I will catch you all in the next episode. Be sure to be well and peace.